Hi, I'm Mike Musiolo, Human Biomechanics Specialist at Functional Patterns, Santa Monica. Many of you have been asking for a brief description of exactly what FP is, so that way you can share it with family, friends, or anyone that may need our services. Now, you can just send them this. So let's get started. What is functional patterns? And more importantly, what can it do for you? You see, over a period of generations, humans deal with a variety of traumas that affect their genetics, structure, and neurology. Whether that be from toxins in the environment, intense acute emotional and physical traumas, or slow degeneration due to a strong deviation from the stimuli that actually helps our body become healthy. At Functional Patterns, we look at the most resilient and athletic humans in history in order to help us extrapolate where most of us should be in terms of our health. Think of Barry Sanders, LeBron James, Usain Bolt, Sidney McLaughlin, and many others. These are the athletes that have mostly survived the trauma that inflicts most of our society. Utilizing them as a reference point, although not a final product, Functional Patterns has become a method aimed at enhancing human performance on multiple fronts. Whether it's athleticism, weight loss, muscle building, knee pain, hip pain, improvement in neurodegenerative disorders, and more. There's one thing we are known for in the industry by now, and that's continually getting results with our clientele. This approach goes all across the board, helping many different types of people with an assortment of different problems that some methods or rehabilitation touch on, but none of them actually get results in as many realms of fitness and rehab as we do. It turns out that the exercises we employ work for the vast majority of humans, whether they be on the spectrum of older individuals in pain or high-level, powerful athletes. Functional Patterns aims to look at reality from the vantage point similar to that of an engineer. We like to understand the concrete nuts and bolts of the things around us. Then we apply that engineering-like mindset to the human body by precisely engaging muscles together in a way that leads to more economy of motion and less wasted efforts. With that frame of reference, we've come to the conclusion that most of human movement happens within the context of the big four, which are standing, walking, running, and throwing. To be clear, that doesn't mean that humans only do these movements. Instead, we think of these movements as the primary movement patterns from which all other movements are derived. Therefore, by focusing on these primary patterns, we eventually have the freedom to have tremendous movement variability. This is essentially what we mean when we say biomechanics. This is what allows Functional Patterns to be its own standalone system, as opposed to a set of one-size-fits-all exercises. Due to evolutionary first principles, we are able to adapt corrective exercises specific to each individual's asymmetries and imbalances that create long-term enhancements to their health and biomechanics. Other movement methodologies offer short-term fixes that merely kick the can down the road. Because they're missing these foundational principles, they continually recycle and slap together imprecise exercises that don't account for the majority of the things that we just mentioned. Understanding biomechanics from the perspective of the big four is what gives our clients tremendous movement variability without destroying their joints and spines. Many tools that you see other functional fitness methodologies use, such as cable machines, mace bells, kettlebells, dumbbells, barbells, etc., we also use, just in a manner that respects human evolutionary movement patterns. In other words, we've taken the time to develop a way to utilize these tools that not only increase your fitness, but also correct dysfunctional movement patterns that either leave people in pain or in pain eventually. On top of that, Functional Patterns includes protocols that are outside the realm of what you do in the gym. You see, Functional Patterns doesn't just mean functional patterns of movement, it also refers to functional patterns of behavior that are within the realm of physics and nature's laws. For example, getting outside in nature, grounding, getting sunlight, stress reduction, adequate nutrition, sleep hygiene, and the list goes on. The fact is, if it promotes regeneration, we're probably accounting for it. What's more exciting is that there are numerous beneficial byproducts of employing functional patterns, such as inflammation and pain reduction or elimination, balancing of hormones, weight loss, muscle gain, increase in quality of life, increase in athletic performance, improved digestion, anxiety reduction, life extension, and the list goes on. The truth of it is, your body is the vessel of your physical experiences and how you relate to reality. And when you give it the movement medicine it needs, most things typically improve. Many people are aware of the health issues humanity faces. Some folks coin the term de-evolution to describe what's happening all around us. The Industrial Revolution has us sitting indoors in a type of habitat that would be foreign to our hunter-gatherer ancestors. We like to assign the term degeneration to describe humanity's current state. By optimizing our environment and achieving more precise geometry with the human body, we are able to achieve a state of regeneration in terms of human health. So, as a brief summary, if you're looking for a quick blurb to tell your friends at dinner, functional patterns is physics applied to the human body that focuses on building competency in the most fundamental movement patterns, standing, walking, running, and throwing, in order to gain the most practical movement variability. It leads to not only postural correction and pain reduction, but also increased athleticism, fitness, weight loss, and muscle gain. In other words, functional patterns has most of your health basis covered. This is Michael Musiolo, human biomechanics specialist with Functional Patterns Santa Monica, reminding you to think intentionally and not habitually.